Okay, that's enough of that. All right, we're back and wearing protection. Yeah, so that's the stock filter, and this is what we're replacing it with. Well, today is a big day because my KLR is in for its first service. You might have seen this in a previous video. I actually bought this about a month ago, picked it up from Las Vegas, rode it back. This thing is essentially a brand new 2024. So the guy that had it before me bought it brand new, did a bunch of mods to it, but then sadly had to get a hip replacement. So I bought it off him with 500 miles on it. It's in for its first oil change. I think we're at about 800 now because I had to drive it back from Las Vegas. And I've got a few other mods because other than the bars, the skid plate, and a couple of other little things, it is otherwise stock, and I don't like my stuff to be stock. So here at Just Money, we're going to pull it into the bay and give it a little overhaul. So the bike's in the bay, and this is what we're going to be installing today. We've got some new handlebars going on, a little bit swept back, slightly higher rise. I probably am still going to need to get riser because when you stand up on the bike, the bars are just a little bit too low, so you can get a little riser that pops them up. But start with the bars today. I got these, which are called Hammer LEDs, and so these are allegedly indestructible indicators. They're on this little spring here, so you can bend them and do whatever you want to them, and they're all billet aluminium, so looking forward to getting those on the bike. These big things are definitely not the most attractive. We've also got a service kit, so it's due its first oil change at 500 miles. We're a few hundred miles over that, but that's fine. And then because I ride it in such hot weather, we're going to stick in some of this AMSOIL antifreeze and coolant. Best in the business. I'll drop a link below for where you can get this. If you live here in Havasu, there's actually a really good AMSOIL dealer, and so I'll link to that if you want to do your own home mechanic stuff. We've got some new mirrors. The standard ones are just so goofy, so it'd be nice to have those. And the nice thing about these is they kind of work like a ram mount, so you can actually adjust these ball joints, and so if you want to have them folded completely up or out of the way when you're riding off-road, you can, and then you can flop them back down for when you're back on the street. So it's just nice to have that versatility to get them out of the way when you need to. Tail tidy kit, it's honestly one of the most important things I think on these modern bikes because they just look so ugly. Like they just have so much going on. So that is basically going to delete everything from about here down. So combined with those new indicators, it's just going to look so much nicer. As you can see, this has got a bone stock exhaust on it. So we are going to be replacing that. And we've got the Delkovich titanium with the carbon fiber tip on it. This thing is California legal. It's got a spark arrestor in it. And I didn't even realize it was going to come with the Union Jack on there, but it has, which is super cool. That's a full system, so it's going to replace the entire exhaust on this thing, which I'm very excited about hearing it because don't get me wrong, this is no crazy sounding bike, but it'll be nice just to wake it up a little bit with the exhaust and then with the air filter as well. Maybe we'll eke out an extra few horsepower. One of the other things I'm excited about are these foot pegs because the standard pegs on this thing, they rubber mount them and they have this rubber on the actual peg themselves. Because this is a single cylinder, it's a real thumper. There are lots of vibrations, but these are so narrow. And even when I'm just wearing trainers, trying to balance on this, it feels like my foot's gonna fall off the edge. So looking forward to getting some nice big grippy pegs on there. And then we've also got some new upgraded brake pads as well, just to give us a little bit more stopping power, a bit more performance. Hand guards too, I actually need to spray paint them because they didn't have black in stock. So we're gonna be spray painting these these gray ones over there. So they'll be going on. And then finally, I'm actually throwing on a set of tires that I've never ridden before, but I've heard really good things. These are the Michelin Anarchy Adventure tires. So they're an 80-20 tire, 80% road, 20% off-road. The tires that come on these KLRs as stock are renowned for being absolute garbage, so be glad to get these off. Now, they are slightly less knobby than these, but that's because most of the riding that I do is on-road riding with a little bit of like trail stuff, some fire roads, maybe some, you know, light gravel. I'm not doing a ton of off-road stuff yet. That might change. I might end up swapping these out for the Anarchy Wilds, which are the next sort of step up, much more knobby. They're the ones that I had on that Touareg that I rode from California out to Moab and then did a bunch of stuff off-road in Moab, and I loved that tire. But I just wanted to try something that was a little bit smoother for this bike, given that I know how I'm going to be using it, and it's going to be definitely more of a touring bike than it is an off-road bike. And so everybody that I've heard that runs these on their adventure bikes absolutely loves them and says that they are actually really good off-road, considering that they are quite a smooth, sort of road-focused looking tire. So we'll see what these are like once I get them on there. But yeah, that is basically our haul for what we're going to be installing today. So I guess there's nothing to it but to do it. So let me show you what this stock bike sounds like. This is kind of a cold start, but stock bike, stock exhaust. So, you know, not bad, but also very agricultural. You know, it sounds like something you'd hear on a farm. So, very much excited about getting that new exhaust on and giving you the after. So here's a little side-by-side comparison. So, stock exhaust, kind of weird shape, honestly. I don't think I've seen a muffler that's this shape before. And then the Delkovich that we're replacing it with. And the weight difference is crazy. I mean, this is like, ugh, it's so heavy. I can barely lift that with one hand. This thing is light as anything. So yeah, if nothing else, we are going to be saving some pounds. But I think it's going to sound better given how straight through this thing looks. You can see light at the end of the tunnel there versus this that's got all kinds of stuff going on. So definitely be glad to get rid of that old one. Hear how this thing sounds with its lungs opened up. I think with basically every vehicle that I've ever done an exhaust change on, I've always started it with no exhaust just to see. So, you know, while we're in there, so we've got exhaust right there and then it exits just there. Okay, that's enough of that. That's so loud. Yeah, hopefully it's a little bit quieter than that. Code number 1. You know shit's going sideways when they have to bring in the boys from the front to check out what's going on. What are you doing back here? This isn't you're far too clean to be back here.
I get down and dirty. Yeah, I don't understand why they don't.
Think he knows what he's doing?
Fuck no, not a clue.
So if you guys think that I'm unable to do mechanic jobs, then you're actually wrong, because I just installed this modification right here. So this is the clutch switch, and this is a little blanking plate that tells the bike that the clutch is depressed all the time. And apparently that means that at low speed it's a lot smoother. So like right now when you let go of the throttle, it like really jerks. Apparently it smooths that out. So it also means you can start the bike while it's in gear, which I always leave it in neutral anyway, but just something if you decide to do that to bear in mind is that if it is in gear and you hit the starter, it will start going. So the exhaust is almost on. It is looking very nice. So there's going to be a shield here so you won't see all this shiny stuff. And there's a shield, there's the plastics that go right here too, isn't there? So yeah, you'll kind of catch the edge of the pipe, but that is a beautiful bit of kit. Love the sort of dry carbon on here. It's like very subtle, but it looks great. So very excited to see how it hears. See how it hears? Jesus. Very excited to hear how it sounds. So back from lunch, bought a little helper with me as well. And the exhaust is now all finished up. So it is looking beautiful and shiny. This is gorgeous. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So yeah, let's do the first start. Fire her up. All right. Definitely got a little crackle to her. Give it one more. Give it one more. Why not? Yeah. All right, that's definitely a lot more throaty than I expected. That sounds good. So next up, we're working on getting the indicators changed out, or the turn signals, as these guys like to call them. Oh, we need to do the oil change because it's done 800 miles and it was due 200 miles ago. So yeah, still plenty to do. So out with the old and in with the new. These are gonna look way nicer. These things are just giant. Yeah, I really like how these look. They've got kind of a bit of an industrial feel to them. Definitely a lot less lame than those. So, we drop the oil. Any magic sparkles on the filter?
Nothing too bad that I'm seeing.
No. And then we're going to throw in some AMSoil as well. So yeah, like I said, I'll drop a link below to basically everything that you see us installing, but I run AMSoil fluids in literally everything I have. It's in the truck, it's in the van, it's in the side-by-side, it's in the Sea-Doos, it's going to be in the bike, and it was also in the Audi. I had it in the Audi RS6 as well, so yeah, it is the best, and especially out here as well where it gets so damn hot. I want to make sure that I've got some good coolant in it, so throwing that in there. Like I say, I'll link it below. You can only order it online. It's like a weird product. You can get it from shops, so if you come here to Just Money, they use AMSoil fluids, but you can't just like go to Walmart and buy it. You have to buy it online, but if you do your own oil changes and stuff at home, I highly recommend it, so I'll stick a link in the description. There we go. There's one new mirror. Better than the old Mickey Mouse here over there, that's for sure. And it's crazy that on a bike that's this kind of angular, they would put such a ugly round old mirror on it. And the nice thing about these is if you're off-roading or whatever, you can just kind of pull them down, fold them in this way. That way you don't smash them on any bushes. And the reason why the handguard isn't on this side is because we are going to be replacing it with some proper reinforced handguards, so that it will actually protect the lever should the bike ever go down, rather than these that are essentially just like wind guards and definitely not going to do anything if you were to fall on them. So the KLR isn't exactly known for its high power braking, so we're going to throw in these Tusk high performance sintered brake pads, which apparently, given all the reviews and stuff on Facebook groups and the forums, actually do a pretty good job of improving stopping power over stock. So standard ones have only got 800 miles on them, so they're barely bedded in, but we'll swap them out for these anyway. They look identical, but apparently these are better, so. Yeah, like I say, all the forum posts and the Facebook groups, everybody says that it's a nice little upgrade. They do a braided hose kit as well for them, braided brake lines, and that is something that I am a fan of. Like in most of my performance cars that I've ever built over the years, I've always done braided lines because it just gives you a nice like accurate pedal feel. There's no sponginess in it, but this is definitely not a performance motorcycle. This is a KLR, the donkey as people like to call it. It'll get you wherever you want to go. It won't get you there fast, but it will get you there. So considering I bought this bike having never even seen a KLR in person, I'm learning all kinds of new things while we're here working on it. Like changing the air filter is actually really easy. You've got this little cubby hole here, and you just reach in, undo your little wing nut, air filter pops off, and then you pop your new one in. But I probably should have worn gloves because it is oily as hell. I've been so used to using dry air filters for God, years. I remember back when I was a kid, when I first started driving, all the like performance K&N filters had oiled filters, and then it was like, no, it's bad for the MAF, like you shouldn't run them, so then everybody switched over to dry filters. But this requires an oiled filter, so it is gross and oily. So that is it. Ooh, look at that.
No.
What is that? We're just going to raw dog this, given that I'm already greasy. So this is what we're replacing it with. A Uni high flow filter. Alright, I'm going to wash my hands and put gloves on. Alright, we're back and wearing protection. Yeah, so that's the stock filter, and this is what we're replacing it with. So, apparently it's better. Well, that's going to be about it for day one. So tons of progress. We got the brake pads in, the exhaust is on, it's full service, oil filter, got the AMSoil engine oil and the AMSoil coolant in there now, so hopefully it'll be little bit better in the hot weather. Allegedly, this stuff makes things run cooler than what would have come in it, so I'm excited to see if that's made a difference. Painted my handguards, so these will go on once we do the bar swap, and then I also obviously got the Hammer LED lights, which I think look really good. It's really like cleaned up this front end. Oh yeah, and I got the mirrors on too. So yeah, lots of stuff done. Realistically, all we've got left to do is handlebars, tail tidy, and then the bar guard. So foot pegs are on as well, so they look great. And yeah, I haven't tried standing up on this bike yet and riding it off-road, but just from the little bit of standing up I did riding on the street, it just felt like the bars were too low. So I definitely think a riser will help. Tusk do make a riser, so I have that on order, and then we'll get the tires mounted too. So yeah, I have to film tomorrow sadly, so I'm not going to be able to film any more of the progress, but the next time you see this bike, this will be all done and ready to hit the road. And we're back. Just me, Just Money, and just the bike. It's finished. This thing looks absolutely awesome. So got the new handlebars on there, went for the pro tapers. They're a little bit swept back. They've just got kind of a more natural feel to them for me and my riding style. The Tusk handguards are on there with my expertly painted handguard. They actually look really good. Like, I'm surprised considering I just did this with spray cans. It looks really good and now offers me a lot more protection than those flappy plastic ones. The indicators are looking great. Got the new tires on as well. So these are the Michelin Anarchy Adventures. So they're an 80/20 tire, like I was saying, which means that they're going to be much nicer on the road. They're not the best for like super off-roady stuff, but if I start doing more of that kind of thing and I get more confident with the bike, then I'll stick some Anarchy Wilds on it. But for now, these are going to do just fine. Got the mirrors on there, got the new pegs on there, and then we got the tail tidy, which is definitely made a huge difference to the back. I want to get this dinner tray off. I don't like it. I'm not really going to run a top box. I'm going to get some soft luggage eventually, so I'll see about taking this off so that the back of the bike will be a little bit neater. I think we've still got to keep this on here though, but yeah, hopefully we can get rid of the dinner tray. And then the Delkovich exhaust is looking absolutely delightful down there. So the other thing I did was a 15-tooth front sprocket going up from a 14, which is just going to give me slightly nicer cruising on the highway. Should bring those RPMs down, and what I lose in that first gear response doesn't really bother me because I'm not doing any like real technical stuff. So yeah, she is all ready to go. I'm excited to ride this thing. It is going to be fun. All right, let's fire up the new exhaust and see what it sounds like. Do you have the keys by any chance?
There should be. Oh, they're right here. I put them.
Thanks, dude. I want to hear what this new exhaust sounds like.
Right.
I would call this a cold start, but it's 110 degrees outside, so it's far from it. Yep, it sounds like a 650cc single cylinder that's been around since the late 90s. But it's definitely got a bit more presence now than it did, that's for sure. I'm back safe and sound. This thing actually is a little ripper now. It definitely feels like that exhaust and the air intake or the air filter has given it a little bit more pep in its step. The bigger front sprocket on the front, I really can't feel in the acceleration. I didn't take it on the highway yet. It definitely feels like it's got more balls to it now, which is nice. And maybe it is just the butt dyno because it sounds a bit meatier, but I like it. I'm happy. It's definitely a really cool bike. I'm glad to have it added to the collection. And yeah, we'll hopefully go out and do some adventures on it at some point. I'd like to stick some more lights on it. I've got some rigid little amber ones, very similar to the ones actually that I run on the Sea-Doo, that I think would go really well down here on the lower crash bars, because when you merge in with traffic and you're out on the road, having amber lights really does make you more visible. And on a bike, especially a bike this color, it definitely wouldn't hurt. So might look at getting some of those. But yeah, overall, very, very pleased. So yeah, thanks for watching this one, guys. If you're interested in getting anything done to your dirt bike or any sort of power sports vehicle, make sure you check out Just Money Motorsports. They do an absolutely phenomenal job. They did all of the build on my Can-Am, suspension, all the shock therapy stuff. So if you're here in Havasu, they are an absolute gold mine. So tell them I sent you, and hopefully one of the lads on the front desk will do you a good deal. All right guys, I gotta go do some editing because it's not all just riding around in fun vehicles like this. Sometimes I do have to sit behind a computer and be a normal human being. So yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you aren't. Stick around. I'm trying to get this channel up and off the ground and hopefully get it monetized as well. So the more you watch it, the more that helps with me. And the more it helps me to be able to run cool things like this and go and do cool adventures. Hop over to the other channel, go and subscribe over there. Get yourself to swords.com, grab some merch, get cool things like these bomber sunglasses, which I just got today actually. I think they're pretty sweet. They haven't got the little side shields like my riding ones. They're, yeah, I like them. All right guys, see you on the next one.